Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of RobSportsCenter. And if you are a fan of old school basketball and Larry Bird, then you are at the right channel. As you can see by the title, man, today I will be reacting to a Larry Bird. It says it's a rare interview from the 1986 season. I know a lot of guys have been telling me that the 1986 Celtics is arguably the greatest team of all time. So I'm interested in seeing the mentality that went into going into each game, especially from Bird's perspective. So you know how I do y'all over here, man. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, but before we get into this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure that notification bell is on the way. You be notified on all things Rob Sports Center. Let's go ahead and get into that action, boss. I know y'all been loving my last interview reaction, so I had to come with this.
Like any other basketball-playing youngster, Larry Bird dreamed of a career in the NBA.
In fact, Bird never thought he could actually play in the NBA until his senior year in college. But now, on the verge of winning his third straight MVP award, well, this is all a little beyond belief.
I don't think anybody in the right frame of mind could just be honest with themselves. I think that they're going to go in the NBA and play basketball. I really didn't think about pro basketball until my senior year. You know, I didn't know what to expect. When I first came to Boston, they had a couple bad years there, and it was sort of rebuilding time. They came in with a new coach, and I didn't know what to expect. All I wanted to do is go out and play the game, play hard, and see what happened. My relationship with Fred has been, I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking, so we get along pretty good. I started off my first couple of years still trying to learn the game and learn the city of Boston and see how people react to me and how I was going to react to them. So I think the adjustments have come pretty quick, and I'm very happy with the way things turned out in Boston because it's been very easy. All I do is show up, play basketball, and things have been going well on the court, and so everything else takes care of itself.
I know you said you stopped.
And see, like, you know, another thing that that's interesting even about this is the fact that, you know, when you look at Bird, you would think that he always had that knowing of, okay, I am going to the NBA. And it's like, to see what he went on to accomplish, you would automatically assume that. But then it's like hearing him saying this now, you know, he didn't really think that he would actually play into the NBA until his senior year. But that never deterred his focus from coming out and dominating and playing hard from game to game. So it's almost like who he is in terms of his constitution, you know, the work ethic and how he approaches the game ultimately is what got him there. Not necessarily chasing the NBA, but just chasing better self-improvement, eventually success in terms of the NBA came, you know what I mean? So that just shows you that, you know, as long as you're putting the work in, it's possible.
Your subscriptions to the local newspapers, but you know, every time you pick up a magazine, there's an article on Larry Bird. The one Sports Illustrated comes to mind. It's a living legend. Now, what can you think when you read an article like
Well,
that?
they're all the same, you know. Basically, if you win a game, somebody's going to be the hero, and somebody's going to be the GOAT. So I really don't buy the papers to read articles about the team because I know exactly what goes on within the team. I know the ins and outs. Some reporters think they do, they really don't. You know, it's a lot of fun sometimes to read the articles and to see what different opinions that people have. But as far as here in Boston, I know exactly what my team is thinking and what they're trying to do, and we get along pretty well, and we try to cover up for each other. So it's been basically pretty easy for everyone.
Do you think the media's treated you pretty fair?
Very fair. I think the media's did a fantastic job with the way that I've conducted myself. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you know, I make mistakes just like everyone else.
How much longer could you see yourself playing? Would you like?
Wait, so let me ask y'all this. By him saying that, you know, sometimes he's conducted himself good and sometimes bad in the media, like, so did he have any bad media experiences? You know, let me know in the comments, but I'm gonna go look and see if he did, you know. And I don't think that necessarily he probably might have made a remark. And in that remark, it might have came off a certain way, but he didn't necessarily intend for it to be. But then the thing about Bird, I noticed that Bird seems unapologetic. Like, so when Bird says something, he don't seem as if he's gonna come back later and say, "Oh, I'm sorry." He seems like when he says something, he mean it. You know, he stands on it. You know, and that's just the vibe I get from him.
Well, if I, have security, which I think I do have, I can finish this contract out and then maybe say goodbye. But you never know what's going to happen. I change my views every year and mature a little bit more. And I can't see myself hanging around for 10 or 15 years. But right now, if I had to make the decision, I would say 4 more years.
What? Could you even imagine Bird playing for another team other than the Celtics at this point? Like, that's insane to me. And then you would think, even with the success that he was having, that, he would have been probably thinking like, okay, I see me staying here for, at least 8 years, possibly to 10 years. But the fact that it was a possibility that he was probably thinking that, either he wouldn't be reassigned or he would just leave to go to a different team for a different opportunity, it's like, dang, that's kind of crazy.
Play the NBA, and my own feelings, I think they can make some adjustments to benefit the fans and the players. I think TV's taken over way too much. I think we schedule our games around TV a lot now, and I think the fans are just sitting there waiting, and if they wait too long, they get out of the habit of yelling and screaming, and I think that takes away from the game of basketball.
Most definitely.
Along with the long hours of practice Bird demands of himself, there are many more demands put on number 33. From the media to living up to what people expect off the court as well as on.
People tend to try to criticize everything they do, not just the press, but just the people in public. I think sometimes they think that you're God and you're supposed to do everything they ask and you're supposed to conduct yourself. Sometimes they tend to forget that you're human beings just like they are. I like to go out and have my fun. I like to do different things. I'm very easy to get along with. I just don't like people moving around me and standing and gawking. I just like to be out and have fun just like everyone else. And sometimes I think just the public don't understand that. And it can be a hassle sometimes.
Boston's probably even worse, and that's fact because they're such a sports-crazy town.
Well, they are in some ways, but they're also very good because they've been around it a lot, and most people tend to stay away. But usually there's 1 or 2 people that like to just hang around, and every time you move, they like to move with you.
Could you ever see yourself settling down here?
When I first come here, I said no way, but every year I can stick around a little longer. I enjoy going home because my grandmother's there and she's getting old, my mother's getting older, and my brothers are growing up. I like to hang around them as much as possible, but if my family wasn't back home, there's no question that I'd stay here. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to stay here or go there, but I definitely spend a lot of time in Boston.
When you go home, everybody still give you a hard time, just like you were, going to Spring Valley, not playing for the Celtics.
They're a little different, they're starting to get used to it a little bit more. People tend to show up my house day and night, it's a steady flow, but it's all the friends that I hung around with, and we had a good time. We sit around in the garage, 10 or 15 of us, and talk, not only basketball, but about everything. We usually meet at the lake and go fishing. We might have 6 or 7 boats of people, and we all fish and have tournaments, or we might meet at the park where we play softball or basketball, and it's a good enjoyment for me to go back home and just be around them people.
I think I have a great job, but you got to admit you probably have the best job in the world.
The thing I like about Bird too is that he's a very down to earth guy. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of has the nonchalant demeanor, and even like how he was saying, he likes to go out and about, but he doesn't necessarily like the level of praise that people probably, give him or do whenever they see him. In terms of just standing around him everywhere he go, they following behind him. It's like, he still likes to be considered as one of the guys, regardless of where he was at in terms of his career at that point. He still just wanted to be looked at as one of the guys, a regular person. And I know us as fans, we most definitely kind of do look at these guys like this. You know what I mean? So I can kind of understand his take on that.
No question, because last week and during the whole week we was off six days there, and I played 32 minutes in 1 week, so I don't think anybody can beat.
Well, that is it for that interview. That was a pretty nice interview. It was a pretty quick interview, and I feel like it kind of got to got straight to the point in it. You know what I mean? By being such a short interview. But I have been enjoying these Larry Bird interviews because it gives me an insight to, him as a man and the player, but you just actually being able to hear him talk and hearing how he articulate outside of just seeing him shoot, dribble, and rebound and stuff like that. But that is it for this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, man, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell. When you click the bell, make sure you have all, not just one, all of my notifications turned on, and where you be notified every time I make a post, because just like I say in every single outro, in every single video, man, just like the GOAT Drizzy Drake, I got these videos coming back to back. So you want to make sure you tune in and you don't want to miss them, man. And I'll see y'all in the next video.